you could, apply for discharge. And I'd say 80-some% of our bomb group had over 100 points. And so we lost that 80% of our bomb group within the first 2 weeks after the Japanese surrendered. And since I didn't apply for discharge, they kept closing the base. They closed Fairmont and sent me to McCook, Nebraska. And when I got to McCook, it was already scheduled to close. So I was only there about a month or so, and I got sent down to Pratt, Kansas. And when I got down there, that base was being closed. And from there, I ended up at Fort Worth, which was a more permanent base. And then sent back to McCook again, and then ended up at at an air base in Illinois. And that's when I took aircraft maintenance officers training.
How did the war impact you as a person? How did the war impact you as a person?
Well, the thing that I noticed most from the war was when you're in a bomber crew where you got 12 guys in there and your survival depended on each other, that crew got sort of welded together almost as a family. And it was almost like a second family. People you had never met before, never saw before, they became part of your crew, became almost like another family. And out of the 12, there's 3 of us still alive, and we still are keeping in touch with each other. The other thing I noticed that when I was in a fighter group, individual fighter pilots each fly their own airplane, and they are much less inclined to become close personally to another fighter pilot because of the fact that he might be killed and they'd lose him. So I noticed there was much less tendency to try to become very close in fighter groups than there was in the bomber groups. But every bomber crew, not only my own, but everyone I knew of, became almost like a family. And like Rudy Ayer's crew, his crew members became close personal friends for the rest of their life. And that was very consistent of every bomber crew. It's it formed an attachment that was almost like family.
Do you still think about the war?
Think about it? No, not too much. It's you kind of read it as history, to help you. Like when I go back and read about a particular mission in this book, you kind of recall, what was it like on that particular mission. But it's only certain ones, like that Longest Day mission is one that is etched in my mind forever because it was a constant stress connected with it. But out of those 23 missions, there's probably only 4 or 5 that I can even recall. And when you read about it in the book, it's almost curiosity, like you're reading about something that happened to somebody else. You don't recall anything specifically about it at all. But like that Paris mission and that longest day mission, and those are the types that, and of course the breakthrough at St. Lo, that mission, they become etched in your mind, or you could almost recall every detail. Of course, it was the same way in the fighters. The ones I can remember are the ones where I had some serious problems, either with the airplane or for some other reason.
Is that enough material for you?
I think that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's good. Do you want to talk about anything else?
Okay.
That's great.